Why, hello everyone! Today I've got another set from Blend Bunny Cosmetics that came back in stock, and I thought it would be a great palette to do a spooky look with for the week of Halloween. It is the Divination collection from Robert Welsh. And if you don't know, Robert Welsh is an English YouTuber who does a lot of beauty. He's a professional makeup artist, and he gives you a lot of great tips on how to do your makeup. I've learned so much from him just in the short time that I've watched him, which was since 2020, I believe, because that's when I started really watching YouTube. And to start with, he has 2 lipsticks and a set of lashes, and then there's a palette. And the palette's got the magic crystal ball on there because he's going to look into your future. And on the back, it has all the ingredients list, and it does have the names of the colors here. I'm expecting this palette, now I looked at it before I bought it, of course, but I don't remember what it looks like, but I'm expecting, because Robert likes purple a lot, that there's going to be quite a few purples in here. Let me get this open and we can take a look. So Robert also has a twin brother named James, and James does a lot of skin care content. And they each have second channels as well, so I'll list all those channels below. Robert does a lot of commentary on his second channel. Not always on beauty and makeup, but a lot of times on beauty and makeup. And then James does something really fun, which is very popular right now, and he unboxes Pop Mart and other toys. So I will put all their stuff below. So, interesting. Here is the palette from Robert and Blend Bunny. And this palette is kind of a rainbow palette, but more from a pastel leaning rainbow to a darker, deeper rainbow. So there are 15, 20, 25, 30 eyeshadows. There is a yellow to brown row, a green row, a teal, like light blue to teal, a pink to purple. You knew he had to have purple in there. And then there's 2 neutral rows, a brown row and a gray row. So let's do some swatching. I will just swatch across the rows in the color order, and we can look at all that stuff. I am going to start with my thumb so I can do 5 colors at a time, and we will look at all that. But before we do that, maybe we should look at these lipsticks. This lipstick is called Betrayal, and it's beautiful purple. It's like a gloss, very thin, and has a nice purple tinge. I'll show you that after I show you the next color called Good Fortune. Do any of you go to mediums or fortune tellers? Ooh, that's a pretty color. That is like a light sage green gloss with sparkle in it. And I will swatch that as well. So what Robert said about this, I believe, is that the green tinge will kind of neutralize the red in your lips and make them look more neutral. So there's those 2 lip swatches. And I'm going to put the green on now so you can see what that does, and then at the end I'll put the purple on for the final look. Why am I not in the center of the screen today? Very interesting. And it does kind of neutralize your lips a little bit. I do think my lips look a little bit more neutral because I do tend to have like reddish pink lips. Not super red, but not like Macaulay Culkin red, but they are kind of pinker than my skin tone. So it's on my face. Okay, I haven't put anything on either yet. I know that Blend Bunny has a good formula, but I think I'm going to do my base last today. So let's swatch these. There are 2 shimmers in each row and 3 mattes. So the first color is called Scry, and it is a lemon yellow shimmer. Then a lemon yellow matte called In the Stars. Aura, which is an orange yellow, and brown color called Skeptic. That's me. I'm pretty skeptical about people that tell your fortune. They know people and they know what to say to trigger them, especially emotionally. So here are the first 5 colors. That's a pretty yellow row. And these colors are pigmented, although I will say you might have to build up the pastels a little bit. That's usually the case with pastels. You might even want to put a white base on your lids before you do pastels in general, because it will bring out the color. The next row is the green row, so we have the color Vision. I had a vision. There's a spring green called Money, a darker green called Tea Leaf. I'm going to read your tea leaves. It does look like a green tea color, but darker maybe a little bit. A pretty pine green called 13, that evil number. And a shimmery dark green called Lucky. This would make a great row for St. Patrick's Day look. Even with the color Lucky, that's a nice color. Oh, I like that spring green, and I like the tea green. I like these greens, they're very pretty. Okay, the blue row. Interestingly, even though I'm a skeptic and I don't believe any of that stuff, I do think it's kind of fun to play with, like games of chance and stuff. So when I was in college, my friend and I at the time, we went to a psychic workshop and learned how to read tarot cards and do some predictions and things like that. It was fun. Love Line, which is a Tiffany blue sparkle, like robin's egg blue, that's called Hydromancy. That's using water to predict the future, I guess. Pisces, which is my husband and my brother's star sign. The Fish, which is a teal color. A dark, almost navy blue, which is called Horoscope. And Oracle, which is a teal shimmer. So there is the shimmer on my thumb. And then there's the other 4 colors. Halfway through, I mean, this is just really very pretty. Robert did a great job with this palette. It's a rainbow palette, but it's a little bit different. Number 7, which is the lucky number, as opposed to 13. In other cultures, the number 4 can be very unlucky. And like we don't have a floor 13 over here in America, some buildings in Asia don't have a floor either. Floor 4. We have a pink called Affirmation, a mid-tone purple called Gemini, and a dark purple called 8 Ball. I believe Robert is a Gemini. I want to say he is, but I'm not positive about that. And then the last sparkle is called Psychic. And I have that on my thumb this time. Psychic, number 7, Affirmation, Gemini, 8 Ball. Well, that number 7's really pretty. I think my dog is in the other room sleeping on the bed, making herself comfortable while I'm not there to tell her not to sleep on the bed. But that's okay. Okay, then we have the brown row. So we have the color Rune, which is a light brown sparkle. Fortune Cookie. It is kind of like a darker color than a fortune cookie, but it gives you that like fortune cookie flavor kind of. Ouija, or Ouija, I don't know how you pronounce it. I always said it Ouija board, which is a chocolate brown, and Zoltar, which is like a dark chocolate brown, and then, what? Paul. I don't know why this one's called Paul. You'll have to watch Robert's channel to find out why this one color is called Paul. Okay, so here are those brown colors. And I have to say these browns are pretty. I'm not much of a neutral lover, but if you like neutrals, I think these would hit the spot. That fortune cookie is very peachy. And then the final row, which are the grays to black. The first color is called Crystal, which is a sparkly white. And that's very soft as well, so don't press into it too hard. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Smoke, which is a lighter gray. Mirrors, which is a mid-tone gray. And Meg, again, don't know why they're called Paul and Meg, which is a dark black. And then a pewter sparkle called Hermit. Ooh, these are very pretty. I mean, that's nice because you can just use these for whatever you need to complement other colors, or you can do a smoky eye look. Let's just swatch that out. Okay, I'm going to show it to you on my arm. Don't be dazzled because it's very pretty. And we will go ahead and play with it after we're done showing it to you. It's quite a big palette, and my wrist is pretty small, so it's hard to fit everything on there, but it's quite pretty. The thing about Blend Bunny's palettes too is they're awesome complementary colors that you can use for completing any look you need. If you have a palette that is really missing something like a light or a dark, go to one of your Blend Bunny palettes because they almost always have really lights and really dark darks, and their shimmers are solid. Let's look at that in a more less light situation. Okay, I'm back. I think I'm going to do two different eye looks. First, I need to prime my eyes. So hold while I do that. And I'm going to do some eyebrows with my NYX pencil, the micro brow pencil. Great at drawing little hairs. I have 2 issues with my eyebrows. Well, actually, I will say I have 3 issues with my eyebrows. The first is that some of my hair is less full than it used to be, so I have to fill in, especially at the inner corner where my nose is. So I do need those little hairs. And also at the tails, there's some hair loss there, I guess. It's a little thinner. And that's just part of natural aging, but if you want it to look a little better, just use a micro brow pencil and you can fill in your hairs. The other issue I have, which sometimes I'll use a brow gel, a color brow gel to correct, is I have grays in my hairs. So there are gray hairs. If I use a colored brow gel, that will cover right over them, and then my eyebrows actually look like eyebrows again and not some weird thing. And then the final thing is, watch this. If I brush these up, I got some crazy long ones, so you can be happy about that, or you can just trim them back, or you can just comb them so that they fall in line. And I'm going to use a little bit of gel to seal them in as well, and I'm using the Kosas gel. And that'll keep things in line. For some reason my left eyebrow seems to behave more with less long, super long eyebrow hairs. Okay, let's play with the palette and then we'll do the rest of my face last today. I think I'm going to play with, in honor of Robert, I'm going to do a really pink look into purple. So let's do, I'm just going to play with this row for look number 1. And then maybe we'll do a neutral look for look number 2. So Affirmation, the pink. And it is really like a bubbly gum pink. It's got quite a bit of white in it. And if you wanted this to pop more, you could put white base down to make the pastel really pop, but I want it to be like my blend out color as well. So we'll take the mid-tone purple called Gemini. Where's a medium brush? And I'm just going to pop that along here, along the very center of the crease, with the pink going up more into the rest of the eye. That's pretty. And you can build up the Blend Bunny shadows as well. So I'm putting it on lightly at first, but you can build it up pretty deep. And I'm just going to go back into the pink and make sure that's showing up here. And then finally, I'm going to take a small packer brush. I'm using the Singe E4 and go into 8 Ball. And I'm going to place that all along the bottom part of my lid. We're almost doing like a smoky eye with purple. I'm really going to pack this on deep, dark purple. And then again, I'm going to go into the mid-tone and blend that out. Now my eyes are very round. They don't have much of a slant to the almond shape. And that means that sometimes doing a wing will look a little awkward. It takes a lot for me to do a wing well. Let's put some more pink here and blend. But you can blow this out. And I'm just going to keep blending this. And I don't care with these purples if they blend together a little bit because I am doing it as a smoky look. If you want to touch up one piece, you can always do that. Make it darker or what have you. And there you have a smoky matte look right now. And if you're going to keep this matte, I would take my pinky, which is too dirty to use right now, so let me wipe it off. And just dip into that affirmation pink color again. With my pinky, and I find this is the easiest way to place things in the corner of your eye, like so. Okay, I am going to put on the next color, which I'm going to do the gray row. So I'm going to do the same exact kind of thing, but with these grays. So first I'm going to take the lightest gray called Smoke and very lightly tap into that until I see what the base color looks like, and it is, you know, like smoke. Then I will take a mid-size brush and I will go in with the color Mirrors, which is the mid-tone gray. And I think this is the first time in my life I've ever done smoky eyes, so bear with me. And then I will take one more packer brush and put the black Meg on it. And definitely when you're doing smoky eyes, especially with something really dark and you're not sure of the formula yet, do your base last or you're gonna have a mess and then you'll have to clean it up and redo your base anyway. So now it's time to blend again, so let's just blend, blend, blend. This one. And then as we blend, we can put more or less. I'm actually going to try on those lashes too today because I never wear lashes and I want to see what they look like. Yeah, I think I need to tap some more black in here just to make sure it's all the way across the lid equally pigmented. And I'm going to do the same thing with this light gray and just put that in the corner of my eye. And yeah, that looks pretty. So now we have the base down. What I'm going to do is switch to my face. We'll come back with some shimmers in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use my Conjuring primer. Let that set for a second or two. Take it down on your neck as well whenever you do that. And you can see my skin is not perfect. It is 57-year-old skin and it does have redness. It has a lot of broken capillaries and some like little, what are they called, milia that pop up here that just leave little bumps on your face. But you know what? No one has perfect skin. You might have like pretty close to perfect skin when you're maybe 20, but in your teens you're going to get acne even if you're dry. And then, you know, when you're 20 to 30, maybe it looks great, but eventually time will catch up to you. So just be aware of that. Okay, I am going to use my Urban Decay Face Bond in the color 5. This has been a pretty good color for me, and It's like a thicker consistency, but it doesn't go on thick. It stays thin. It's not liquidy and runny, but it does stay thin. I'm going to use my It Cosmetics brush. And, you know, kind of pounce it on your skin at first. And then you can buff it after you've gotten it everywhere you need to get it. You really want to make sure it's going into the skin. You can see where I have that redness. It just covers it right up. Now, if you have a lot of redness, what you want to do is get a color corrector in the color green or yellow. Yellow will work too, although green is the best to neutralize red, just like that shade we put on our lips. The lip gloss in green. And I think I need a little bit of concealer, and I've been using this Tier concealer, which isn't a very light shade, but I do enjoy it. You'll see I have. Now, one thing I learned from Robert is don't just put like a big smear of concealer. Just put dots where you need it, and you can use it also on areas of trouble. And light colors should go where you want things to be emphasized, and dark shadow things like contour should be used where you want de-emphasis. So if your nose, for example, is very wide, you can put the contour along the side of your nose to slim it. I do also have slightly dark circles under my eyes, but they're not horrible. I certainly sometimes wake up and like look like I'm 57 years old, so. Okay, now we can do the rest of our face. So I'm going to use a little powder. I'm loving this Conjuring setting powder, so I'm just going to use that across my T-zone. It is a cream to powder powder. And it is very good at mattifying, so I just use it all on my T-zone. I do feel like my purple has blended much better than the black, but that's okay. Let's find some blush to use. I think I'm going to use, oh, I have a Kosas blush. I'm going to use it in the color Euphoria. This color. I gotta clean these brushes tomorrow or soon. So we'll use the color Euphoria from Kosas. That's pretty. I do like that. Start at the top and work your way down. That way, if you get too much in the top, you can kind of hide it in your hairline as well. Now, depending on your face shape, you might want to do a little different. You might want to put more on the apples of your cheek than up here. I like to do my blush like this to elongate my face because I do feel my face is pretty round. But sometimes I'll play with it and just put it on the apples of my cheek to make it just look like I have a flush. So depending on what you want, you can also, winter is a good time to put a little bit on your nose so it looks like you have a flushed nose. And you're cold. So pretty and cold. Okay. And then I am going to put on now this purple one in, what's it called? In Betrayal. Really nice formula, very light, doesn't feel too sticky. It is very sheer, so the color is not going to be like super strong or anything. I am going to put a little bit more. I'm going to work on my eyes a little bit more, and then what I will do is come back with a finished look with the with the lashes on as well. Okay, what colors do we want to use for sparkly sparkles? I think I'll use just the same colors that we want to use. We'll use Psychic, which is the purpley shimmer on this part of the eye. Really pretty. Very toppery. It's got a little bit of blue sparkle to it. Very pretty. And we'll use the color number 17 over in the corner. Oh, that's so pretty. I love these kind of colors. And I'm just going to take this all the way to the center. And what's nice about putting sparkles on top of your smoky look is that it's going to cover up any little mistakes or lack of complete blending you have, so you don't have to be perfect. I think I'm going to just take a pencil brush and go underneath the eye with some purple as well, maybe the mid purple. And then we'll use the pencil brush and go in with the mid gray. For the gray black eye, smoky eye, I'm going to take this pewter color and put that on the outer. And again, so sparkly. It just goes perfectly. And then take the white, which is, as I said, it is very, very soft, so don't press too hard into it. And there you go. Purple or black? Which one do you like the best? Let me see if I have anything that I can put in my waterline. I will be right back. Okay, I found some inner waterline things in the other room. So we have this black one. You could also do a gray or a white in your inner waterline here. And this pencil is from Complex Future Double Dimension. It's got brown on one side and black on the other. And then from Juvia's Place, I have this purple one. And this is more bluey purple, but it works. All right, let's put on some false lashes. I will be right back, and this might take a little bit of time in real life. Which ones should we use? The dramatic ones or the ones that are natural? Okay, I am back and I have the false lashes on. This one here, the more natural one, I put on this eye, and then the more dramatic one I put on this eye. But I would say both of them look pretty natural. They don't look like I have spiders on my eyes, to be honest. And I really like them. I'm not used to wearing false lashes, so it does look a little shocking on me. And I am currently smearing some stuff on my inner corner, so let's fix that. But what do you guys think? I really like the look. Let me fix my hair. I think these looks are easy. You know, it's just a matter of continuing to blend. And like I said, if you put a shimmer on top, it's just going to fix all of that. And yeah, these lashes have glue on them already. If you have lash tweezers, I would use them to secure them a little bit. I probably would trim this one if I was using it again, just on this little edge here, but they're very pretty. So what do you guys think? Let me show you everything else I used one more time. I used my face bond in number 5. I used my primer from the Conjuring series at Lethal Cosmetic. No, I didn't use that. I didn't use any highlighter, but I do really enjoy this blush from Kosas, and the Conjuring powder from Lethal. Used the purple color after using the green color. Really nice. I will put one of these in my purse because it's nice. And then I have the two-tone look, the purple smoky eye and the black gray smoky eye. Do you guys ever do a smoky eye? And if so, do you use other colors or do you just use black? I'm pretty happy with this look. And remember, you have to be happy and not sad. There's just a rule. And so make sure that you hit the like button and hit subscribe. I'm trying to build up my channel and I really appreciate all the help. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.